So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront, and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. You know, every year I get older, it gets a little bit better. I mean, eventually I'm going to sound like Santa. It's just going to happen, right? Today, a way to think about making next year a whole bunch easier.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a boost. I need a daily boost.
How are you? It is the Daily Boost. My name is Scott Smith. Good to have you here today. Thanks for stopping by. It's a crazy time of the year. I'm not as raspy as I have been. We had 3 parties to go to, good friends, annual parties, and we always say, why do we go the next day? You know those sort. You're talking too much, eating bad food, the whole thing, right? I'm done now, though. Raspy will be here for a few days, and then we get all set for next year. So that's what I want to talk about today, a little bit of next year. And I'm going to get different today, a little bit more conceptual, if you will. I'm going to pull from my Face Your Passion program. By the way, we are launching Operation Face Your Passion in January. I build on this program every single year. It's what I use for my clients. If you're looking for, well, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it. Just go to faceyourpassion.com, put your name on the wait list, and after the holidays, we'll tell you all about it, okay? But today, we're going to take you down a road and a concept that I use within it that I think you're going to find kind of eye-opening. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I see massive failure. I see people try so hard. Year-round. It's not just the resolution season. I see people set goals, they take off running, they falter, they tip, and it's just crazy. So we're going to take you down a path today and give you a different way to think about something, and it's going to start with a concept that I call the peaceful base. It rests on a few pillars, but there's a couple of things that we actually put in play here that I just believe, based on massive experience, that need to be in play if you're going to do anything. Now, when I say massive, I have done this podcast for 20 years. I've done coaching for 25 years. In the past 2 years, I've coached 1,213 hours. That was actually 22 months worth. So this comes from a place of massive experience. I call it the peaceful base. And the peaceful base started a ways back when we all built a foundation. We said, listen, you can't do anything without a solid foundation. Now, that's not groundbreaking in any way, is it? The problem is people thought they had a foundation and it didn't work out. We had faults in the foundation. I saw it happen again and again and again. People thought they were ready to do something to make a change in their life, and they faltered. It didn't work. And so little by little, I kind of moved this whole foundational work, which a lot of coaches don't even do. I moved it very, very forward in the program because I recognized something. I recognized it had to be very, very solid and it had to be peaceful. We hear about peace a lot this time of year, but that's what everybody wants in their life. So let me tell you a story today. A little bit of a metaphor. I'm going to try not to go down a path too far that's too technical, but it is probably going to get that way. We'll see what happens. My daughter, about 2 years ago, invited me to go to the church she goes to. Now, she's in the worship band, she sings, and she's a keyboard player, and she's really just amazing what she does over there. And she said, Dad, come on over here. I did. I checked them out. They're cool people. I really enjoyed the experience. And one day she said, Dad, you produce a lot, you direct a lot, and you have a massive audio background. Would you mind maybe working on our technical team and help us produce the worship? I said, well, sounds fun to me. Hanging out with you. That's awesome. So I stepped in, and once or twice a month I do it. And I became the audio guy. Now, if you're an audio guy, there's two things are true when you're an audio guy. Number one, you get the blame. If you're the big guy behind the big console, you get all the blame. Number two, if you don't control the balance, you're in trouble. This is where the story starts. So, as an audio guy, when a church service starts, or a band of any kind starts, this is the same thing across the board. You have maybe 8, 10, 12 people on stage, and the very first thing you do is you set the foundation. You set the input levels. Every vocalist sounds different that day. The guitar player turned up a little high. Everything's a little bit different. So the very first thing an audio person does is set the input gain, as we call it. And there are stages along the way, but we have to set the very first step to get it right. Now, here's why. Because downstream from that very singular setting, you can do a lot of things, but you can't change that first setting. And if you don't, audio guys know this, if you lose control, if you lose balance, everything goes crazy. And during a live performance, you can't have that happen. Feedback, all kinds of crazy stuff. Ooh, scary. I've done it. And so the audio guy gets it right. And what we want to do is get in unity. We want to get to the place where everything is balanced. Now, if it's balanced perfectly, the band can do their job and do what they want to do. And it sounds great. If it's not balanced perfectly, it's going to be a hot mess. So having said that story, I've taken that. I said, let's apply this to life, to what maybe you want to do next year with my peaceful bass. We have the foundation, but it has to be kind of a solid yet a bit of a dynamic one. So what do I mean by that?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hi, this is Zoe Deutsch.
And Nick Robinson. Our brand new movie, Voicemails for Isabel, is all about those little moments that feel like the universe is looking out.
Feeling homesick, then your sister calls.
Hearing that perfect song exactly when you need it. Sometimes life rigs things in our favor, like learning about your new favorite rom-com, Voicemails for Isabel. Now playing only on Netflix.
Well, a peaceful bass is based on 6 domains of life. I had to write them down, make sure I didn't miss them, mostly to make sure I got them in order. So I made some conclusions, I guess, about how it actually works after thousands and thousands of hours of coaching. And here's what it was. I said, if we can get a solid balanced bass in the beginning and understood how they interacted, if we got everything set right from the beginning, you could go for the biggest goals in the world and you were not going to upset that peaceful bass. So what I do in my coaching is I make sure we're always checking that and make sure you're balanced. I bet you've had times like that, right? Where it's like, it's all good. Let's go. I set a goal. Let's do this. And 6 months down the road, it falls apart. So here's what we do. We look at 6 areas. And this is not arbitrary. This is a lot of experience. This is a lot of research, psychological and neurological, the whole thing. And I said, this is what works. And it's tried and tested through years and years now. So number one, as you get into next year, the number one thing for your peaceful bass to pay attention to is your time. Time is yours. It's limited in what you have. There's only so much time in the day, and everything you do will take time. You will waste time. You'll spend more time. Time is everything. In fact, I will tell you that every single thing we're going to talk about is going to be affected by time, which is why I put time first. So the first thing you need to control next year is your schedule. It serves you or it doesn't. Yeah, speaking to you, right? The next one is your body, your health, your wellness, things like that. Now, a lot of people say, Scott, the body's first. Yeah, until you tell me I don't have time to get to the gym. Boom, common sense kicks in. If we don't manage time, you cannot take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't show up to do what you want to do. You will simply run out of juice, I guess. If you don't have the health and fitness, you can't reach your goals. Number 3, your mind. Mental clarity and emotional stability need to be maintained. Makes sense, right? We're managing our time, which will pretty much, I think, straighten your head out pretty fast. You feel really good, and now we got to get your mindset right. You have to stay there, too. When we get to 4th one, and sometimes people will say this is the first, and I can see where it can be, and that is money. Financial security provides true choice. It's mobility in life. And a lot of people say, well, yeah, Scott, well, I need to do that first, right? Yeah, you do maybe, but you don't have the time, and you're out of shape, so you can't do it. And your mind's all screwed up. How are you going to make any money? So what we do is we look at that. We say, well, listen, how much money does it take for you to stabilize yourself? And somebody will say, if I had $500 a month more, I'd be fine. Great. Guess what the goals become? Go make $500 more. Next is relationships. Connections that are nurtured, not sacrificed. I cannot tell you how many times that I've seen somebody say, Scott, I'm going to start a business, going to start a side hustle. By the way, we don't do side hustles. We don't do hustle and grind. We don't do that. Kids hate them. They get divorced. They have no friends. It's terrible because he didn't take the time to say, in the 6 domains we deal with here, relationships are really important. And finally, spirit. Do you believe in God or not? What do you believe in? Now, I will tell you that I actually really, really worked at where I put this in the process. I work with a lot of people. I'm a godly guy. I like to put it first. But I understand something. It's really hard to believe in something bigger than yourself and submit, if you will, and just say, I'm just going to go with it. In language of a Christian, God's plan, right? It's really hard to do that sometimes when you're busy and you don't feel good and you don't have any money and your head is there. So I said, man, I don't have any choice. I need to put it at the end. So when I talk about a peaceful base, when you talk about going into next year and what you're going to be doing, I'm talking about a base that you establish today, that we literally look at the challenges we have and fix those small itty bitty little challenges and make it so we get a balance. We're in unity. So that as you grow and you set goals and you go out and you work hard and you do things you want to do, that you don't mess up what you got. It never changes. You always have that peaceful base. So, like I said, it's a bit conceptual, but when you begin to kind of dig down deeper, taking some inventories of what you're doing, understanding what's really driving you, really set those big ass goals and really raise your dream level, boy, it comes together. So this is nothing I made up. This is something that I just had presented right in front of me again and again and again. Time, your body, your mind, your money, your relationships, and what do you believe? You may have a different opinion. That's fine. I don't tell you what to do. I just tell you what works for me and works for everybody I've ever worked with. So it's completely up to you. Consider it as we get into next year. Go to faceyourpassion.com, put your name on that list. I'm not going to sell you, just going to let you know, okay? If you're interested, you can join us.